Stars is about to start and we're in a theatre. Say hi. Say hi.
Really big there, but yeah. Hi, I'm Miranda and welcome to Books 101. So today I have my mum in to talk about The Fault in Our Stars movie that we saw just the other day. What were your first thoughts on The Fault in Our Stars movie?
I enjoyed it, but I must say that I liked the movie better than the book.
Still don't know how you can like the movie better than the book.
I thought that the book was well written, but it was very raw, and I really couldn't connect to the characters in the book.
But you could in the movie.
I could in the movie, even though I pictured them to be different when I was reading the book. The movie did it.
The movie did it. I really enjoyed the movie. They kept it really close to the book. What I liked about the movie is you could still connect to the characters a lot more on the big screen. This will kind of be spoiler galore, so if you haven't watched the movie or read the book, I suggest you don't watch this next part because we'll kind of be talking more about the movie and we don't want to really spoil it for you.
About the sex part.
Oh, we could talk.
That's alright.
No, spoilers. The sex part.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Okay.
If you don't want to be spoiled, click out. We saw the movie the other day, and on the way there, it was a real it was almost a classic scene getting there. Raining. It was pouring wet with rain, and we were driving there.
It was almost not meant to be.
It was almost
almost meant to go home. We couldn't find a park.
We couldn't find a park. It was just pouring wet, like with tears. We always said with tears. We finally got in, and then there were heaps of teenage girls, wasn't there? Too many teenage girls. And then they were like, oh, they gave us the earlier session because we were planning to go later. But we got in the theatre, heaps of teenage girls, the ones next to you.
I was the oldest one there.
No, you weren't the oldest one there. There were other people there.
Alright.
When you went into it, what were your expectations?
More or less was what I expected. I was hoping that I could connect with the characters, as I said before, and I did. And I was probably expecting to cry, obviously, but I didn't cry as much as what I thought. I went away with, yes, just a different outlook and thought and feelings on how the characters were portrayed.
Obviously, we had high expectations. You know, the book was definitely roughly written, so going into it, it was more kind of fine cut.
It was roughly written.
It was roughly
Raw
written.
Raw.
Roughly written.
Raw.
Like going into the movie, it was more clean cut Hollywood.
No, it was actually anti-Hollywood because she didn't have that makeup on.
No, but it was Hollywood in the fact that they made it.
Oh, that. Yeah,
I'm not talking about the makeup.
No.
What was your favourite part?
My favourite part was where they were in the restaurant and he told her that he loved her.
Why was that your favourite?
Oh, just, I don't know, whether just the way he stared at her and kept repeating it and she was speechless. It's a nice part, so there were other nice parts, but I think that one.
That part was good, the restaurant scene was good. It's
What
hard
about
to
when you read the book?
I don't know.
Was your favourite part the saddest part?
Probably. Probably, because I cried and ended up crying.
It was more just sprinklings along the way of how he would look at her with that very charismatic look. And he used that again when he told her that he loved her. It was how they met at the very start, and they used that a lot.
Yeah. The bit when they first met each other in support group, how they kept doing those smirks to each other.
Yes.
I was cute with the little, with his little smile, the little anger.
No, very charismatic and very well done, and I was convinced with his character, whereas in the book I imagined him to be completely different. The words that would come out of his mouth in the book, I was just picturing somebody different.
I picked your least favourite part. What would it be?
Well, I can't really think of a least favourite part. There was no section in the movie where I thought to myself, this is dragging or it shouldn't be in there. I think it was all fine.
I don't think I had any least favourite parts, but I was disappointed sometimes they cut out bits. So for example, the swing set, how in the book Hazel and Gus sold the swing set, they didn't do that in the movie. They cut out Hazel's best friend Caitlin, the little pom best friend, they cut her out. I don't know, some little things they ended up cutting out, especially the video game at the end where Isaac's blind and you know, Hazel and him are just like shouting at the TV the directions for the video game. It was definitely a great movie. One of the best things in The Fault in Our Stars is their trip to Amsterdam. What did you think about Amsterdam? You were saying it's beautiful.
It was a lovely setting, and I think the way they used the Anne Frank's house as the moment when they first kissed was very good. Very symbolic, and I won't go into all the symbols, but I always look for those things, and I thought it was, just a different way of revealing that first kiss.
Like the bit with the author.
The author is how I imagined him to
be. We were walking out of there, and we were actually saying that's how we imagined it in a way.
I thought he'd be just...
what actor were you imagining?
I couldn't imagine an actor, but I was picturing an old university professor of mine, just big and chubby and sweaty. It's done well.
That was done well. Yeah. I love how in that scene they still kept like from the bookish pop culture kind of music. They still kept that in, which I thought was amazing. And that scene was practically line by line, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I did like the Anne Frank house. Like you said, very symbolic. Because as she was, you know, climbing up the stairs and stuff like that to get in, they kept, you know, quoting all Anne Frank stuff.
Overall, from the very beginning, if you have never read the book, you would probably be thinking that she was the one who was going to die. Obviously, one of them would die in the movie. And you'd think because she's carrying around that oxygen tank all the time, that she's the weaker of the two. And he always appeared so strong and, you know, confident and sure of himself. In the end, he died first. He just collapsed in a heap, and she just kept on going. Though it didn't look like that at first. It looked as though he could have lived forever, and he was the one to go first. And, you know, if there's ever a sequel, well, is she still living? I don't know.
One of the bits that I think I cried more than the ending was the bit when he broke it to her, the Christmas tree line, which I think that Christmas tree line just makes everyone just collapse and just cry. You cried in that, didn't you, when he read it? On the bench?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, you were getting a bit teary.
I cried more where she gave the eulogy to him.
Yeah, that was done well. Girl next to you kept...
I don't know what she was even doing there, but anyway,
okay,
she spoiled it.
Let's talk about the characters and how we think each of the actors played the characters. Lean Woodley, how do you think she played Hazel?
Very well.
You imagined Hazel to be very kind of ordinary. Yeah.
That tomboyish look. I think they did it so well that they kept her appearance very natural, and her own natural beauty came through. And even in the scenes where she got dressed up in the blue dress to go out for dinner, so not an ounce of makeup, she just had that, they let that natural beauty come through.
Your favourite parts was the eulogy. How do you think she acted in that part? Because you really enjoyed her acting in that part.
Incredible. And obviously, I think everyone in the cinema was moved at that point.
I didn't cry in that part. I was having a solid face. I saw you go, you were having
a little bit of a tear, but then I had that girl next to me who was, I spoilt the moment, even if I wanted to cry.
Ansel Elgort, Hollywood's new hot. What did you think of him?
Yes, I can see why he's hot.
He was good looking.
No, he's a good looking boy. He's a good looking boy. If he's like that in real life, I don't know if he's like, as in, you know, how, what his personality is like. But I thought he played the part very well.
I think, what was your favourite moment of his?
I just like the look and the stares and just that confidence and, you know, they say a picture paints 1,000 words. I think his stares painted 1,000 words.
My favourite part of his acting was that scene at the petrol station. You know, where he's vomiting because he's sick.
That was your favourite scene?
No, it wasn't my favourite scene. My favourite scene of his as an actor.
Oh.
As an actor, not my favourite scene. Goodness, no. But I really enjoyed that scene. I think he did that part really, really well. Isaac.
Expected? That much no.
I think there's more of an Isaac in the book than there is in the movie.
Yes.
Parents.
Oh, I thought the parents were depicted as in the book.
Yeah.
And I really liked Laura Dern and how she played the part. the relationship between mother and daughter really came through. And the
Did you
father.
Did you like how they kept the cocaine and plotline?
Yes.
They kept that. And what I really loved also is the scene where Hazel's mum had her room with the towel on, because that's like the book, and also the herpes line, they kept that in. That was funny. What do you think of the author, the one that played the author, Peter Van Houten?
Now Willem Dafoe, I thought he played the part very well. Maybe to play a drunk would be maybe easy to do. But he played the part well. He was convincing.
The ending. Now, this breaks everyone in the book. I was crying more in the book than I did in the movie.
I wasn't fully crying either.
I think because we were expecting it.
Of course, you were expecting it. Yes, it was more seeing them together and knowing what the ending was like. I think there were, in their moments of happiness, that made you cry rather than the obvious, which is the funeral. I mean, that was going to happen. Yes, it's sad, but because you know that he's going to die, when you see their moments together and how happy they were, that would cause tears more than the other.
Because some girls had to leave the theatre. Did you see?
No, I didn't see.
Before the end, some girls left the theatre because they couldn't handle it. We had some teenage boys next to us, and they were really kind of. I think deep down
maybe they were dragged along.
Yeah, they were dragged along. But deep down, I think they would have been crying. But no, the ending was definitely good. I thought maybe ending was the last line was supposed to be "I do, Augustus, I do." They changed that to okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. It was okay. I did in like at the funeral how she goes up and places the cigarettes, you know, on his seat. Didn't keep the line. You can smoke these. I thought they'd keep that line
because it's a visual there, so you can interpret it that way.
Yeah.
Whereas in the book they had to.
For book or movie, we think we know.
Movie for me.
Movie for you? For me, I actually can't say. I think the book just a tad more than the movie, but the movie was still really, really good. If you think there was a sequel, what do you think the sequel would be based on?
No, because all the medical terminology they use as to the type of cancer she had, I'm not aware of that. So to give it credibility, could there be... Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Done and dusted.
Done and dusted. Thank you for joining me today, Ma.
You're
nervous,
welcome.
but you did really well.
That's okay, thank you.
I'm Miranda. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave the Fault in Our Stars review that I did down below, as well as the How I Read Fault in Our Stars, and also information on my Fault in Our Stars travelling book. So all those links to everything Fault in Our Stars will be down below. Thank you so much, bye.
That's okay.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much for watching.